to our next webinar. Today, as you know, we're going to talk about sport. So we've got a lot of work to do, some new vocabulary to learn or perhaps just revise. But well, no pain, no gain. Are you familiar with this idiom? Do you know what it means? You know, you can use chat to put your answers in it. Anyone? Do you know what it means? Oh, I can see someone's yes, but Elżbieta, would you share it with me? Well, because the others can't see you. Well, what it means is it's necessary to suffer or work hard in order to succeed or make progress. And this is precisely what we're going to do today. Right. But before we start, let me ask you a few questions. What sports do you play or have you tried? Use chat to answer my question. So what sports do you play or have you tried? Anyone? Squash, swimming, okay, jogging, volleyball. Right. Now, which sports were you good at when you were younger but have forgotten how to do it and perhaps would like to improve your skills now? Volleyball again. All right. Any other answers? Basketball and swimming. Remember, swimming double M. All right, thank you. And is there any sport you don't mind watching on TV? You know, like you're not a big fan, but it's fine if it's on TV and you can just watch it. Mm, no answer from you. Okay. Well, sport is a vast subject, and there are so many sport disciplines that would probably need a whole day or more to cover them all. Uh, but well, we do not. So we're just going to focus on a few types of sport. And here are some the names of which are not so obvious, perhaps. So can you help me? And say what the kinds of sports these are. Like the first one, you know, a combat sport, two sparring partners who try to gain a superior position. All right, I can see some answers. Adrian, thank you. Wrestling, that's what it is. Wrestling. Yeah, I think you've already given me the answer to the next one, which of course is boxing. I know it's kind of easy, but I've put it here on purpose because some people use a false friend, the word box, which obviously is a container, right? So the sport is boxing. Yeah, it's boxing. Yeah, what about the next one then? So we see two possibly men fighting using kind of swords. Any idea what's... Oh, right, I've got some good answer. Thank you. Greta, is it, or Marta? Fencing. Very good. Okay. Elżbieta, that sounds Polish, but thank you for your answer anyway. Okay, what about the next one? It could be karate or judo. Does anybody know the name of such sports? Not, more. Aha. Well, almost there. Was it Daniel? It's martial arts. Okay, so you were very close. Martial arts, that's what it is. And the last one. Well, the second word is kind of easy. Oh, thank you. I've got the correct answers from Pavel and Adrian again. Long jump it is. In American English, you'd say broad jump, but otherwise it's long jump. Very good. Okay. So listen, what we're going to do today is talk about the where, the what, the who, and the how, meaning the places where we do sports, the what being the equipment we need to do them. The who will be some sports people and people working along with them, and the how will refer to how we can talk about, well, doing sports. Okay, so let's start with the where, meaning the places where we do sports. Okay, so how about this playing surface, used obviously for playing football? Does anybody know what that is? What do we call it? Oh, right, we've got some good answers. Thank you. It is a football pitch. Very good. Well done. Okay, well, yeah, so this is where footballers practice. How about this place? A flat, large area surrounded by seats that's used for sports or entertainment, yeah, like for concerts, for instance. Stadium, this is a stadium, or there's another word we could use, arena. Okay, like, you could say a synonym, arena or a stadium, obviously. Yep. Bravo. Now, let's go on. What about this sport? Mm, right. What we're looking at now is an area of land, right, used for playing golf. But what's the name of it? Any ideas? Hmm? Hmm. My, no. Golf field? Okay, that's a good one. Why not? Well, it's a golf course, but I suppose that would be understood at the end. So golf course, and yeah, you might be thinking about the thing that the man is holding. What is it? But hold your horses. We'll get there soon. Okay. Now we're talking about the places where sports are played. So how about the next one? Which I think is pretty easy as it's similar to a Polish word. Yeah, where do we play tennis? Court, obviously. Thank you. It is a tennis court. Okay, and the next one. hmm So who do we see here? These are some runners, right? Who are going to run around this place. Mm, any idea what that might be? Uh-huh. Okay, let me help you a little bit. This is an athletics track or a running track, right? So they are going to run around it, and actually a complete trip around a racetrack that's repeated several times during a competition is a lap. Okay, so it's like a complete trip around the racetrack or athletics track. Similarly, actually, to swimming, because see, um, swimming from one end of the pool to the next one is also a lap. Okay, the same word, a lap. All right, let's revise. So, how about these three words? Could you put them into the gaps? What about the first one? A golf comprises a series of holes. Most contain 18 holes. Do you remember what do we call the place where we play golf? Oh, of course. Thank you. That's what it is. Yes. Now, what about the next one? Terry swam 35 in a 25-meter long swimming pool. We've just talked about it, so you should remember. Mm, anyone? Laps. Very good. Thank you. And the last one, an area painted with lines for playing particular sports, especially football, is a. That was the first one. A pitch. Thank you. You're the best. Okay, well done, well done. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on and have a look at the what now, meaning the equipment or what's necessary to do to play some sports. Yeah, let's start with something really easy. Okay, so what is this? What are we looking at? Well, obviously, we cannot play football without a football, right? It's the same word. But apart from a football, what do we need? What's behind this person, right? So this area that has two posts with a net fixed behind them, where players try to send the ball to score. Goal! Perfect! Daniel, I think you were the first one. Yeah, it's a goal, and obviously the word has another meaning, meaning a point scored. Yeah, in such sports as football, hockey. Yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, and what's the name of? Oh, right, Mateusz, you've answered my question. I haven't even asked the question yet. Yes, this person is a goalkeeper. Thank you. Yeah. So his role is to prevent the opposing team from scoring, putting the ball into the goal. Right. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's go on. What about the next sport? basketball. Well, obviously we need a basketball to play basketball. But what else? What's this kind of basket, that's mounted high to a backboard at each end of the court? Because that's the place where we play basketball as well. Does anyone have an idea? What do we call this thing that the ball that we're trying to put the ball into? No, that's perhaps a little bit more difficult. Well, let's see. That one is a basketball hoop. Okay, a basketball hoop. Okay, let's go on and move on to some winter sports. Skiing, yes, obviously the woman's wearing skis, some ski boots. But what are the things she uses to support herself? To keep balance. What are they? Hmm. Sticks. They are some kind of sticks. There's a slightly different name for them. Let me show you. Ski poles. Okay, so that's the thing we use for balance. By the way, do you use them? Because I don't know how actually. When I go skiing, I never use them. Do you? Ski poles. Some people do, some people don't. I see. Okay, thank you. All right, let's go back to golf. All right, and you were curious before about this thing. So, what's the thing, this metal stick used for hitting the golf ball? What is it? Does any bat? Okay, I think a bat would be used in a different context. Okay, but this very thing is a golf club, right? So we use it to hit the golf ball. All right, golf club. All right, another sport then. And could you actually tell me what sport this picture is about? I mean, it's about lifting something very heavy that's in the foreground. We'll get to that, but what's the name of the sport? Yeah, it's about lifting something very heavy. And lift. Oh, right. Thank you, Daniel. This is weightlifting. And right, and what's the thing in the foreground, right? So in this sport, one lifts a what? What's the thing in the foreground? Does anybody have an idea? What is this? No, that's perhaps more difficult. Okay, let me show you. It's a barbell with plates, yeah, at the end of it. Mm-hmm. Something really heavy. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, let's go on to something perhaps a little bit more difficult. What about this sport? Does anybody know? What sport discipline is that? Hmm. Anyone? Any idea? All right, you do know, in fact. Wonderful. This is archery. Thank you. Archery it is. And what do we do in it? What do we need to practice it? We need, does anybody know? What's the thing? The weapon. Actually, it's a weapon, right? What's the name of it? It, okay, but well, maybe let me help you a little bit. It's a bow, okay? And obviously such a bow would be useless without these, which are, does anybody know? It's an arrow. Adrian, thank you. You've got the right answer again. That's great. That's an arrow. All right. Okay, let's go on. How about some water sport now? What is it? Does anybody know the name of this one? What kind of sport is that? Canoe? Yeah. Uh, so what's happening here? I mean, the sport involves propelling a boat on water. And it's called, perhaps I'll help you a little bit. It's about rowing. Okay. Rowing, meaning using this thing, which is, anyone? What's this pole? It's a kind of pole. Let me help you, perhaps. Well, it's actually an oar. Yeah, perhaps something a more difficult word to pronounce. An oar. It could be a paddle, but it's a short pole used for moving a smaller boat, like a canoe. Yeah, through the water. This one is an oar. Uh, all right, all right. Now let's move on to talk a little bit about athletics, okay, or track and field events. That is a collection of sport events or sporting events that involve running, throwing, as in here, and jumping. Yeah, so what is this? What kind of Oh, right, Mateusz, you already know. So the thing the woman's holding, which is a spear, that's another difficult word, is a javelin. Yeah, please notice the pronunciation of it, javelin. And the kind of sport is a javelin throw. Mateusz, you're familiar with that one. All right, javelin throw. That's more difficult. Okay, how about this one? Let's go on. Well, I'm sure you're familiar with that person, Anita Włodarczyk, and I'm pretty sure you know what sport she represents. But what is it in English? And what's this thing? Yeah, so this is some kind of metal ball that is attached to a steel wire that is attached by steel wire to a grip that she's holding. Um, Oh, right. Daniel, you know what it is. So this thing is a hammer, which is a little bit surprising because I'm pretty sure you've got another image of a hammer in your head as a tool. But this very ball is called a hammer in this sport, which is hammer throw. Oh, right. Okay. Now think Tomasz Majewski. Okay. Yeah, so what kind of sport is that now? So she's uh, the woman is holding something that uh, and the sport is about pushing rather than throwing a heavy spherical object as far as possible. Does anybody know? Oh, right, Mateusz, you know what that is. Perfect. So this very thing is a shot. All right, and the name of the sport, which some of you know, is shot put. So Tomasz Majewski is a shot putter. Um, and he's actually a double Olympic gold medalist, just like Anita Włodarczyk, actually, in it. All right, all right. Okay, two more athletics events. One of them being running and jumping over an obstacle at speed. What's the obstacle? Anyone? Daniel? Mateusz? You seem to be experts in this topic. Oh, very good. Very okay. Very good. You're almost there. It is a hurdle. Okay, this thing they jump over is a hurdle. And so the name of the sport would be hurdling or a hurdle race. Okay. Must be really difficult, must be really quick uh, in order to take part in this competition, right? Okay. How about this one? This very sport. Another athletics event in which a person uses a long pole. Today, usually it's made of fiberglass or carbon fiber as an aid, right? So this is a pole as an aid to jump over a bar. Okay, but unfortunately, these two words do not really help us guess what the name of the sport is, unless you know it. And I see some people already know it. Perfect. This is pole vault. Vault meaning jump. Wow, some of you are really familiar with that kind of vocabulary. All right, all right. Uh, but I think there's been a lot of new words and phrases. So let's perhaps pause now and see how much you remember. Okay? Another exercise then. Could you please match the words on the left with the pictures on the right? All right. So let's say we could perhaps number the pictures, number one, number two, three, and four. So what's a hurdle? Which picture would you match with it? Number two. Very good. How about a bow? A bow's number three. All right. That's what it is. Or which one would that be? Uh, you're too quick for me. That's number four. Very good. And obviously, a barbell will be number one. It's the only one left. Yeah. Okay. And remember the name of the sport that where we use it? What's the name of the sport? What kind of sport do we use a barbell in? Hmm. Weightlifting. Very good. All right. All right. Okay. One more exercise for you. Let's fill in the gaps with some words. Anita Włodarczyk is the first woman in history to throw the over 80 meters. Hammer. Very good. Now, Tomasz Majewski is a. Okay, that's a little bit tricky because we need not only the name of the sport, but also. Oh, right, Daniel, you've got it right. Yes, but a person actually doing the sport, that is a shot putter. Yes, so if you remember, the name of the sport is shot put, and a person doing it is a shot putter. Okay, what about the last one? What's a light spear thrown in a competitive sport? Bravo, Adrian, again. It's a javelin. You know everything. You're the best. Bravo. All right, all right. Let's go on now to talk now a little bit about the who, meaning the sports people and the ones working along with them. Okay, so if you look at this picture, what comes to your mind? Well, what pictures come to your mind? What words? How do you refer to such a person? And I see some good answers. It could be a runner, obviously. It could be a sports person, or it could be an athlete. Okay, a good try again. Okay, could be an athlete. See, an athlete is actually a person who practices and competes in any sport. Yeah, it could be just a sports person. And if you're athletic, used as an adjective, means you're good at sports. Okay, so this is an athlete. Now, how about these two pairs of footballers' legs? What do you think they represent? What do I mean by this picture? Uh, they are players, yes, they are footballers. They kind of fight or play against each other. And that's why we call them opponents, right? The person you play against in a competition. Yes, you could say soccer, football players, but I mean, just any sport, they would be opponents, right? Now, let's talk a little bit now about certain jobs. Okay, so I'm sure you recognize Adam Nawałka, who used to manage a national football team. But what was his job? Okay, careful with the spelling. All right. Yes, he. Okay, careful. The spelling is COA, right? Coach. He's a coach. Is there any other word? Oh, right. Anya actually, or Anita, I'm sorry, is giving us another word. Yes, we could say he's a trainer, right? A trainer or coach. These are synonyms. Yeah. All right. Okay. So the trainer has prepared his team. They are ready to play against another team. Now, whom do we need? We need an official who watches the match closely and makes certain the rules are followed. So, what do you call this person? All right, I see some good answers. Yes, this is a referee. Mm-hmm. So he would make sure the rules are followed. Yeah, he'd use the whistle, um, and do just that. Um, uh-huh. But okay, but what about such sports as tennis, cricket, or baseball? Okay, so we also have such a person who presides over the game, and again enforces the rules of it. But there's actually another word, not a referee. There is another word, an official. Yeah, but what do we call this person? There's another word. Okay, let me help you with that one. It's an umpire. Okay, umpire, like in baseball, like in tennis, we have an umpire. Right. Now, but where would be the fun of playing a match without these people? Who are they? Sure, you know. It's a crowd, yes. Obviously, it is a crowd, but a very special type of a crowd. Supporters, yes, we could call them that. We could call them also spectators, right? People watching a match. But obviously, you could call them fans simply, or supporters, yeah, because they support a given team. Yeah. So spectators, fans, or supporters. Yeah. Uh, all right. Let's practice again. So let's fill in the gaps of these sentences. Joanne's brother is a professional and plays tennis for a living. Number one, number one. Hmm. What's the word? Who's this person? Uh-huh. Okay, player or yeah, the first letter is A. So it's an athlete. Yeah, careful with the spelling. Yep. Number two. Okay, I see the answer to number two. There are two per game, one at each end of the court. So it might be a game of tennis, right? And the answer is umpires. Thank you. Obviously, yes. And the last one, Andre and Embrace biggest O at Wimbledon was Roger Federer, but he managed to beat him. Actually, we're going to talk about this word later. Opponent, thank you. That's the very word. That's exactly what we needed here. All right, all right. So let's move on. Let's move on and talk a little bit about the how now, meaning about so this is about how we can talk about doing sports. Yeah. For example, this person, what does she do? What is she doing? Well, she's practicing. She's practicing maybe yoga, right? So that's one thing of describing this situation, this activity, right? We can practice some sport. What about this person or these people? Well, either as professionals or amateurs, we want to, compete. We want to play against another team or another player, right? So we want to fight against or play against. That would be to compete. Yeah. Well, in such a case, we either um, defeat another player or our opponent, meaning we beat the person or the team. Yeah, we beat them, or well, we lose. In other words, we are beaten, to use passive voice, right? Uh, well, nobody likes that, so we don't want to lose. Now, what do spectators do? Yeah, they shout words of encouragement to their favorite team or a player. So what they do is they cheer on. They cheer on their teams, well, hoping for a win, obviously. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, and that's why cheerleaders, yeah, the kind of the girls dancing and trying to uh well basically supporting their team. Yeah. Right. Now, two more absolutely essential terms when talking about sports. One of them is this. So, obviously, the points that each team has during a game. What's the word? I'm sure you're familiar with it. And, oh, right, I can see some good answers. Well, almost. It's a score. Yeah. So we could say, what's the score of the match? This noun can also be used as a verb. This word can be used as a verb, as in, she scored 8 points out of 10. Okay, so it's both a noun and a verb. Just like, actually, another word we have here. Sorry. Yeah, what about such a situation? Yeah, each team has equal points and neither side wins. Then what happens? What? Oh, right, you know the right answer. Yeah, this is a draw. Okay, so we can say uh, it's a draw, or the result was a draw. And just like with the word score, draw can also be used as a verb, as in, if we draw this match, we'll be promoted to the finals. Yeah? So you can use it as a verb as well. Okay, let's see if you remember. We lost the match, so we were by 5 points. What's the word? We were we lost. So we were what's the oh right. Thank you very much. We were beaten. By the way, do you remember the three forms of the verb beat? You know, what's the past simple form, past participle? Uh right, that's more difficult. Yeah, beat, beaten. Yeah, and careful with the spelling. Okay, number two. Come down to the National Stadium tonight to on our team. To do what? To cheer on, right? Thank you. Mm-hmm. Very good. Both teams are pleased with what? Oh, right. Again, I can see some good answers with a draw, right? So each team's got the same equal number of points. Nobody wins, nobody loses. Yeah. All right, all right. We're not done yet. So please bear with me, because what I'd like us to do right now is have a look at a few idioms. Okay, some idiomatic expressions. One of them actually, I put one of them actually in the invitation to the webinar. It's related to the game of tennis. The ball is in your court. Well, has anybody checked by chance the meaning of this idiom? What does that mean? The ball is in your court. Hmm. Any idea what might this idiom mean? No? No ideas? Your turn. Ah, close, but not exactly. Okay, the ball is in your court means it's your decision or responsibility to do something now. Okay, have a look at the example. We've offered her $16,000 for a car. The ball's in her court now. So, it's up to her. She needs to decide now whether to sell the car or not. Yeah? All right, I've got two more idioms for you. Now, this one is related to the to sailing, okay? To go overboard. Now, any guesses, wild guesses? What could that mean? Hmm. Anyone? Right, a good guess, Mateusz. That's what you'd think. That's what it means, yeah? Uh, Okay, let me help you a little. That would mean to do or say more than you need to. Have a look at the example. I don't think too many people will turn up like at a party, so I wouldn't go overboard with the food, meaning, I wouldn't prepare more food than necessary in this context. Yeah, that's the meaning of it. Yeah, so say more than you need, then it's necessary. Then it's necessary. Uh, okay. And the last idiom that I've got for you, is related to horse racing. To give one a run for one's money, or to give somebody a run for their money. Any idea what could that mean? Hmm. To give someone a run for their money. Any idea? Any crazy ideas? Anything at all? Oh, okay. Let me help you with this one. That would be to try one's hardest to defeat another person. Okay. So look at this example. Let's not underestimate our opponents today. I think they'll give us a run for our money. So they will make us fight really hard. Okay? That's the meaning of it. They will make us fight really, really hard. Okay, now you try to use these idioms in the sentences that I've prepared for you. You can't believe everything Mark says about Anne. He tends to go when he's complaining about her. Do you remember which idiom could we use here? To go. That was go overboard. Thank you, Marta. Right, he then tends to go overboard. So kind of exaggerates, right? Number two, do you think I should accept the job offer? Don't ask me. The is in your now. Two words. We need two words here. So, it's up to you, right? All right. Thank you, Daniel. The ball is in your court now. So you need to decide, right? Nobody else. And the last one, I know they are so much better than us, but let's give them A for their tonight. That was the last idiomatic expression we discussed. Exactly. Yes, let's give them a run for their money. So they'll have to any ideas? Well, that's pretty obvious, I think, right? If you think of a ranking, to be ranked number one simply to to be the best, right? Yeah, she was the best, exactly. And somebody stood out in the game last Sunday because she scored many points and won the match. To stand out, any idea? Oh, right, Mateusz, great. Okay, yep. So to be much better than other similar things or people, yeah. When you stand out, you're much better than others. Okay, but coming back to the video, what did you make of it? I mean, do you think it's a good idea that girls compete professionally in boxing? Would you let your daughter get into boxing? How do you feel about it? Hmm? What do you think? Yeah? How do you feel about it? If your daughter, got into boxing, no, you wouldn't have a. I want boxing. I'm not sure I know what you mean, Elżbieta, but you'd like to take up boxing? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Great. Good luck then. Uh-huh. Yeah. In the previous group, they like opposed strongly to this idea of girls boxing. Perhaps she can be easily hurt, but um, I was just curious what you think of it. Okay. What about the next question? How can sport help children from poor families? Can it help actually? What's your opinion? Can it help? Yeah, yeah, the answer is kind of obvious, right? So, I don't know if you remember what the coach said, yes, that it makes them stronger willed to reach for what they want to get out of life, yeah? So, yeah, definitely. And what about the last one? Oh, I'm curious what your answer will be. So, physical education at school should be optional. So you can attend PE classes or not. So it's up to you. What do you think? Do you agree with that one? Hmm? Not a good idea. Oh, right. Okay, so some strong opinions. Definitely not a good idea. Well, the previous group told me it should be mandatory or obligatory that you attend PE classes, which I think, which I agree with. Yeah, especially in today's world when, our children are so glued to their mobiles. It's especially important. Okay, well, it's a pity we can't talk and you cannot really discuss this issue any further. But all right. Seems like that's actually all we have time for today. So next week you will receive a link to the recorded webinar, and so you can go over it. Plus, you'll receive a comprehensive list of all the words, phrases, idioms that we've covered today. Well, I only hope the webinar has been helpful and that now you'll be able to use the new vocabulary when discussing sports in English. So, good luck. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.